My Harbor Freight motorcycle lift stopped lifting. Welcome to Go Far with Brent. Like I said in the intro, my Harbor Freight motorcycle lift stopped lifting. Over the years, it has slowly started leaking more and more and more to the point where I couldn't keep enough jack fluid in it. So it has been sitting at the back of my garage waiting to be repaired. Well, today we're going to repair it. Got a hold of Harbor Freight through their website and I ordered a new hydraulic cylinder. So it comes just like this. New hydraulic cylinder, painted red, presumably full of jack oil and a new spring. So let's go ahead and dig into it. Here we are looking over the top of the lift. Originally I thought, oh, all I'll need to do is remove this tire access panel and I can get to it and remove it without even having to lift it up. But you move that out of the way and what do you see? A bunch of structure. So we can't remove it from the top. We're going to have to lift this whole thing up. But to make it a little bit easier, we're going to take this bolt out. This bolt is what holds the jack into the structure of the lift. So if we pull this out, when we lift the lift up, it will make it a whole lot easier. So with that out, we'll go ahead and lift the lift and separate it from the bottom. All right, step 2 is to get this up and elevated and get the safety rod in. If you look over here, this is where we took that bolt out and the piston stayed where it was and it separated from the rest of the lift. So that clears up access to the hydraulics. One word of caution. You may need 2 people to do this, one person on either end, maybe 3, one person on either end and one to put the safety bar in. The way I did it was kind of sketchy. I used some wood blocks in my floor jack. Eventually I got it up and locked it in place. All right, so the pump mechanism, the lever for the pump mechanism, isn't bolted in place. It's just held on with a square shape right there. So let's get that out. I'm going to reposition the camera and I'll show you how to take the rest of this apart. Here we are up under the lift. I'm going to start with removing this fastener. This is what holds the lock and release portion that's attached to a foot lever. This is a 8mm. One thing to pay attention to, and you can sort of see it in the view that you have, is there's a torsion spring here that needs to be replaced. When I get this out, I'll show you how it goes. But that torsion spring helps close this when it's tightened back up again. Next is the pivot pin at the bottom. The pivot is held in with a 24mm nut and bolt. So I have a 24mm socket and a metric adjustable wrench. So I'm just going to use this to hold it while I loosen the other side. All right, with the nut off, I can lift this up a little bit. There we go. All right, with that nut off, we can go ahead and lift this up past the thing, and then we'll just push right out. With that nut release there, or the bolt released, swing this out of the way, and out it comes. Now remember, I was saying this spring is important. That spring is what helps lock this thing back in addition to what was there with the pedal. All right, so that is our old leaking piston. Let's move that out of the way. Before we go on to the installation of the cylinder, we have to install the return spring. So that's done right here. There is a cotter key that holds the cap in place. Let's go ahead and pull that cotter key out. With the cotter key out, we can release this pin. That pin will allow that whole assembly to come off. This return spring will sit between that bucket there and that up on the top. Well, in order to get it back together, we've got to pull this piston out. So let's just take our needle nose, move this piston up far enough. All right, one thing that made it a little bit easier is I pulled this plunger completely out. As you can see, it has 2 plastic guides and a rubber O-ring. This is full of lube or of pump oil, so I made a little bit of a mess when I tipped it over and pulled that out. But what we're going to do is we're going to leave this in just ever so slightly. We're going to drop that in place. We can put our piece back on top. Slide our pin in. Like that. Replace our cotter pin. There we go. With the cotter pin in place, let's go ahead and flare it out. Everything's still loose, so don't tip it, because you will find that the piston isn't in place. And then we press this back in. There we have it. So don't pull on this because it'll come back out again. We're going to set it just like this in place. Another thing I want to point out while I've got this up here is that little hole. Remember I said that there's that torsion spring that will be used to close this? That's where the end of the torsion spring goes. So here's the torsion spring. That will fit over this and go into that hole. And then this other end will go into the collar or the mechanism that releases the pressure. Before we put the new piston in, we have to take some of this mechanism apart. This is the pump release mechanism. And what it does is when you press down on it, it opens up the valve to allow the lift to drop. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a pin right there, a hole right there that the torsion spring from the jack goes into. There's really no easy way to put this back together unless you take this apart. So what we're going to do is, this is a 10 millimeter. We're going to go ahead and take this arm off. This is the arm that actuates it. And that'll allow us to rotate this freely. And then when we're ready, we'll rotate it to the right position and put this screw back in. There we have it. With that out of the way, there's plenty of room to rotate this. One thing to make note of is which hole was being used. So if you look, there is a hole there that has dirt in it, and then you can tell it was the second one in here. So we'll make note of that when it comes time to put it back together. All right, let's go ahead and put this back together. Let's move this actuator arm up out of the way. I have a block of wood and some paper towel over here on this side just to keep it in the upright position. All right, let's go ahead and put this back together. The first thing is I want to put this post in and get the spring lined up with the hole. We'll do that with it out. There we go. Next, we'll put the bolt in place. All right, with the bolt in, let's go ahead and put the pump portion back in. Again, we're not going to worry too much about this other side until everything's in and lined up. There we go. With a few taps, that gets it down in place. Now on here, we need to line these up. There's that. All right, before we adjust the release mechanism and before we tighten everything up, let's go ahead and put the piston top in the section of the lift where it gets held in place. So just pump it up until it goes up in there. There you have it. Watch, make sure that that hole is lined up. We reinstall our bolt. There we have it. Now we can go ahead and tighten everything else up. Right now, if you notice, this release isn't hooked up, so there's nothing to do there. We have to remember to put this in its final location. But before we do, let's go ahead and lock in the base. So there's a washer and a nut. There we have it. All right, now let's go ahead and do this adjustment. But what we're going to do is we're going to back this off. And in fact, I think it's probably a little bit easier if I use a pair of vice grips to hold this. We're going to back this off and then put the screw in. There's a screw in here. and there's a bunch of divots in the release. And in fact, let me show you on the old one. You can see there's a series of divots every 90 degrees. All right, so I've put a punch in the threaded hole so that way I'll know how deep to make this because there's a divot there. Let's go ahead and give this a little bit of a turn. A small pair of channel locks. Then grab it with our vice grips. So we can turn it the rest of the way. And there is our screw hole. We'll go ahead and put our screw in there. There you go. Once you get this tight and where it should be, this collar will hold the pump closed. All right, everything looks like it should line up all right. So let's go ahead and put our bolt and nut back in. All right, there we have it. The mechanism's back together again. Let's go ahead and check to make sure everything works. So let's do the pump side. And it is pumping everything up, as you can see. Make sure the release works. And there we have it. Everything is moving. And it closes good and pumps up again. We took the old hydraulic cylinder out, put in a new one, and now it goes up and down. All right, I'm going to put a link in the description on how to find the replacement part for your lift. You have to take a picture or write down the model number of the lift itself. From there, you can go through their parts area and then order a new part for whatever you need on your lift. In this case, it was around $60, which, a little more than I want to spend, but certainly better than buying a new lift. Now I can go on to do some other projects. I'll be working on some other things here pretty soon. I hope you liked today's video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Please subscribe to this channel. I always need more subscribers. Hit the bell, you'll be notified of more content. And as always, thanks for watching. Go Far with Brent.